Hey, my name's Mitch Jones, and I'm gonna give a report on crystallizing public opinions, or I guess crystallizing. Yeah, it's not spelled right, so I'm assuming he's speaking Spanish, and it's in AI, not like an ella. Um, I hope I'm saying that right. My Spanish is so bad. Anyways, so I read through this, and it's very interesting. It's definitely a product of its time. I think it came out in like what 1921, 1923. Sorry, I had to look that up real fast. And it is interesting. One thing that I find is a problem with this is that it's a book about persuading people. And that's kind of comes with the territory, but a lot of the most persuasive people aren't people who necessarily have, the book learning of it. Like, I can read this book and I can persuade someone now. I am a charismatic fellow. Because a lot of what we use in persuasion is very, like, individual and it's kind of like imperceptible, they got it or they don't of humanity. And there's no reading, Persuasion for Dummies that's going to fix that. But this book is also very much about PR, which is something that, obviously as a teacher, I have so much experience with. Um, One thing that I thought was very interesting is his belief that different genders desire different things. So he says we prefer to read about things we like, and for men that's power, and for women that's affection. And that feels weird for me because I'm a little concerned that he thinks I think womanly. I mean, whatever. In touch with my feminine side, that's great, but wow. Um, yeah, I don't think his use of gender in this is necessarily quite up to date, but it was also published in 1923. And one thing he recommends a lot, he doesn't really go into like full on talking about it because again, 1923, but he, in the very first chapter after that very long prologue, he talks about appealing to authority. He talks about selling bacon by getting a person to advertise, or like a physician to talk about how bacon is healthy. And that kind of goes in line with Aristotle's Aristotle's rhetoric, sorry. So I thought that was interesting, kind of. He's not existing in a bubble, he's not creating something completely new. He's following along with a pre existing system, and that is okay. There's my presentation. Thank you. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. I'm going to go sneeze.